Did you know that the word fashion came from the French word mode back in 1482? Hello, welcome to the first episode of my new podcast, A New Look, which I'm excited to start and see where this journey takes me and how it will help me grow as a better podcast creator and presenter, hopefully. If you are curious to what this podcast is going to be about and what will be said in it, then I highly suggest that you stay to find out more, because we have a lot of topics for me to get through, for you guys to find out in only a bit of a short time, but I promise that you will not regret it, and that you will find inspiration from your own clothes, facts, and just entertainment all throughout it. I also want to welcome today's guest, Lydia Dobie, onto the first episode of my podcast. Okay, what was the moment you realised you liked fashion and clothes and all that?
Probably when I was about 5 years old and I discovered that my grandmother knew how to sew, and I tried to email her bunches of clothes ideas for her to make, not understanding that she just knits like hats and stuff. I wanted her to make full-on dresses for me and stuff, but I don't even wear the dresses anymore.
So what sort of things did she make for you then?
She made me an Angry Birds hat. It was the green pig from Angry Birds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And a Minions hat. It was beautiful.
Minions hat, okay. Do you still have them?
I do, actually.
Yeah, do you still wear them as well?
No, they're for a child's head. My head's grown.
Yeah, you do have a bit of a big head, don't you?
Ouch, okay then.
I wish my mum or my grandma could like sew. I mean, I know my grandma could sew, but she doesn't really sew like anymore. But when she was younger, like she made my mum the... Have you watched Grease?
No, I have not.
Like the final outfit the main woman wears in it, her mum knitted that, or my grandma knitted that for her.
Sounds nice.
Back in like the 80s. Is there any films and series, did any of them like inspire you?
Oh, I think one of my biggest inspirations is the film Bumblebee from 2018. It's probably one of my favorite movies of all time, but Charlie Watson in the movie, played by Haley Steinfeld, she wears the bestest outfits. I love them so much. She's actually my inspiration.
Okay, like, when you say Bumblebee, do you mean like the Transformers?
Yes,
like
I
the
do.
Bumblebee Transformers?
Yes.
I've never been such a Transformers fan though.
Have you not?
Nah.
It's one of my favorite things. I've grown up with
Yeah,
it.
like I feel like I don't really like a lot of like big film series that a lot of people do, because like I know one I'm not really that big on is like Star Wars, and
I've
I know
never
a lot
seen
of
it.
people like Star Wars. You never seen it?
No.
Wow, I've seen him, I've watched him, but I'm not like a fan of him, you know.
I've seen-
Same with like Transformers, like I've seen some of them, but not all of them.
Oh, which ones?
Oh, you're testing me here. I can't. I honestly can't. So I'm guessing she's also like a celebrity that
Haley Steinfeld does singing. She was in Pitch Perfect, one of the last ones, I think.
I can't say that I
Yeah.
know, but yeah.
That's the only thing I can mention her from. She's Gwen Stacy in Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, is she?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, I know her from that then.
Uh-huh.
If you like her fashion sense, is there any other like celebrity fashion or like any icons?
I really like, not for myself, but Michel Polnareff from back when he was younger in his prime. He's like 60 now. He dressed really well. He dressed femininely, and for a Frenchman, I guess it's kind of expected in those days and ages.
Yeah, the French.
But he also had really big hair, and these glasses, he actually had vision problems, so which is why he wore them. But he decided to make them big and flashy and a staple of his mark on the world. So that's transformed him into a big hit in France, but not over here because nobody ever knows him. Very sad.
I'll have to look more into them then, I guess.
Oh, please.
I'll have to, and then I have to get you back here and talk about Michel Polnareff for like an hour. There you go.
I would.
You would. You like him that much?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could tell you everything about him. I know his wife is like 20 years younger than him. She cheated on him with a baby, and he helped deliver it.
Seems like he's got a complex life then.
Oh yes, he ran away to America and stuff. And I'm gonna stop here.
Yeah, well, this isn't a Michel Polnareff podcast. Maybe another time. Hopefully, yeah. I guess from like these celebrities, and maybe not even celebrities, just in general, what sort of like aesthetics are like your favorite ones?
Well, I've always really liked gothic fashion. It's really cool, and I like how all the makeup is super out there and not really conforming to societal norms and stuff. And it's all dark and edgy. I really like that. But I guess we're not talking about the makeup. We're talking about the outfits, and they have a bunch of accessories and jewelry, and it's just beautiful.
So you like the proper like trad goth, like the ones that's like when you see them, it's like, oh, you know they are goth.
Yes.
It's not just like little bits of goth. that people may mistake for like emo or grunge or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like full on like, oh, that is a goth. There is no mistaking it.
Yes.
Like they've got like the big eyeliner
and
on,
the
if it's
huge
like a woman.
poofy hair.
Yeah, the big, like, kind of like an 80s looking goth then,
Absolutely.
somewhat. I think the goth styles are pretty fun to find.
It so is.
Yeah.
I've tried it a couple of times, but I've not worn it out because I don't think I was very good at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You might have to show me one time.
Maybe.
I guess linking to goth as well, really, but just in general, like, how you like that kind of like 80s gothic look. Do you think, in general, like, fashion's gotten, like, better or worse over the decades?
Oh, well, I think that we have access to a lot more fabrics and patterns and methods of making clothes that didn't have in the 80s and stuff.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But nobody uses it well. Oh my goodness, if I see another person in a plain tracksuit, I'm going to tear my eyes out.
Yeah.
I really think that the popular styles nowadays are so boring.
Not all of it is bad. It's like, there is some good, like, fashion that is here nowadays. But I feel like a lot of people just don't really care enough to actually like try anymore about their appearances. Like they just throw on like t-shirt, jeans or tracksuits and call it a day, or like a black puffer coat.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit like, well, that's a bit boring.
It's good to have your own sense of style.
But I feel like, especially like how you said, like, because of like the internet as well, we can easily like access all of these stores that are like really small or aren't very big, or that people from like the 70s and 80s wouldn't have been able to have known because they were that underground stores. Now you can find like loads and loads of clothing stores. Is there any trends that you do actually like though?
I like the crystal jewelry trend, I suppose, but that's about it. I can't
That's
really
about
think
it.
of any like trends I've seen online nowadays. I suppose maybe wearing vintage has come back as a trend, so that's
I
good.
guess that's one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised because I think there's some pretty good trends, like the baggy pants are like a really big trend at the moment. Is there any trends that you would want to make a comeback?
Ooh, maybe not gendering clothes, because back in the 70s-ish, people didn't really gender pants and shirts. I suppose dresses were still reserved for women in those days, but people, like men, could wear a lot more feminine things and get away with it.
I don't think like a piece of fabric really has like a gender.
Exactly.
I think like anybody can wear what they want. Do you plan on like elevating your style in like any sort of direction?
I think so. I think I'm going to try and find myself a lot more accessories, because while I think that I do have an alright style, it's kind of like boring, because I don't have the materials, the resources to branch out and make it more interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe just jewelry shopping, maybe getting more scarves or belts.
Yeah, I think accessories is one of the things that I want to do. Anyways, my last question. Do you think, like, just as a bit of like a throwing out there question, just like a complete guess, a wild guess for a bit of fun, in like generations, like in the future, like future generations that are like 100 years away, how do you think they would dress?
Well, if the world hasn't ended from politicians and global warming and stuff, I suppose, well, thinking of global warming, I bet they'll wear a lot less clothes. And maybe the clothes that we wear today will become known as vintage.
I mean, they probably will be, yeah.
This shirt might be in a museum one day.
It could be, because I mean, like, you know, if we're calling like 90s, 80s, 70s clothes vintage,
That's only like
As-
30 years back.
exactly, at some point, you know, our generation is going to be wearing vintage clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that will be all the time we have in today's podcast. I would like to thank Lydia for taking time out of her day to come here to be in this podcast and answer all the wonderful questions, and to just be on the podcast, have a great conversation, answer the questions, and just for a fun time. But if you did enjoy the podcast, please follow the podcast to keep up with any updates and changes that may happen in the future, and so you can keep up when new episodes come out so you don't miss out on it. But it was an enjoyable experience to record this podcast, and I hope to see you all back here again next month. Goodbye.